Good morning, it's Rach here, an award-winning award writer with the Awards People, and this is our weekly vlog. Now, I promised you some great content, and I don't think we could start better than with this lady here, my mate, the one, the only Jenny Cross.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, Jenny, do you want to do an intro? Because I'm bound to cock it up and forget that you're the founder of something or the managing director of something else. So
I'm Jenny Cross, managing director and founder of Cross Productions, the marketing sort of growth hub that works with a number of different businesses to support them with marketing strategies to help them grow. So one of the aspects of what we do, which we're probably much more better known for, is Niche Magazine. And as part of Niche Magazine, I got to know Rach, and as we launched our Niche Business Awards, which are now in their 4th year, I've been doing a bit of work with Rach as she's filling in 1,000,001 entries for different companies. Very strong entries, I have to admit. So
4
here
years.
we are.
4 years.
I know, where did it go?
Now, within Leicestershire, there are a couple of really serious big business awards, and one of them is the Leicester Mercury Business Awards. It's been around since Adam was a lad, I think. I can't remember it not being around, and it's really strong. It's kind of 1,000 people go to it. Businesses contend. There's fights in the streets, people. There's fights in the streets about these awards. And then this lady says, I'm going to set up a business award. So what was your thinking behind it? What were you trying to do? What gap in the market did you see?
We work with a lot of different businesses, and it was all about how we can get the most out for different businesses, how we can spread the name of Niche and the magazine and the work that we do. And for me, I'm a big believer in success breeds success, and recognition is always a really positive thing. When people are recognised, they tend to go out and do more. They also tend to give back a bit more as well. So it kind of has this whole knock-on effect. So it was more about putting together something that was a really positive, exciting opportunity to showcase different businesses, not just ones that we work with. So from the word go, we were very specific about the nomination process. So we would host and organise, but we wouldn't be involved in any of the judging or even nominating anybody. So, you know, that was quite an exciting sort of aspect of it, I suppose, because it's out of our hands. So I suppose it was scary to begin with, thinking, oh my gosh, you know, what if we don't get any nominations, or what if they're not the right sort of businesses that we genuinely think are great? You know, what are we going to do because we're not nominating or judging? So it was more about sort of making sure the words are spread and, you know, people do get their nominations in. So
I think one of the things for me, whilst the size of a business is not usually a determining factor in terms of success, unless of course you're going in for business of the year and it's below £1 million or above £5 million, then of course your finances are going to be important. But what I noticed most about your awards is that you get the big businesses in, you get the super big businesses in, but you also get the much smaller, more niche businesses, the startups, the one-man or one-woman bands. It's about celebrating businesses in all their guise and shapes, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Well, when we first started, predominantly we worked with a lot of the smaller businesses. So it was a lot of the sort of independent businesses, the SMEs. And as we've grown, we've had the door open up to some fantastic businesses, some really large corporates, which has been brilliant for us. But I didn't want to lose track of those sort of smaller businesses, which is where we started. We started, you know, I mean, Cross Productions started 5 years ago in my front lounge. So I didn't want to lose sight of that, sort of keeping my feet firmly on the ground. So we made sure that we, I guess, set the categories so they aided the opportunity for people to come on board and get involved no matter what size they are. So right through from employee of the year, obviously your staff are massively important. So people is a big thing for us. So we wanted to recognise that right through to young entrepreneurs that are growing up, best new businesses, through to your professional services. So yeah, we tried to keep it sort of quite a wide spectrum. And I guess the main challenge was keeping it quite a slick evening, because I know that often, you know, sort of if people go to an award ceremony, if they've won, they want to have a drink and celebrate. If they haven't won, they want to go home or drink and commiserate. So in general, the people that attend are only really particularly interested in their own category. So it was about keeping the evening running quite slick, quite fast, keeping people engaged, you know, throughout the evening. And basically one of the big things for us was having a big party at the end so that we can all celebrate success across the city. And it's fantastic to see, because each year you get people you wouldn't expect on the dance floor busting some moves and everybody just celebrating together, and it's just great. It's fantastic to see.
How's it grown over the years? I can't remember, I don't know if you've got any stats in terms of how many noms came in, but how many people attended, because it's always been well attended, but so it's certainly grown, hasn't it?
Was just over 300 guests and just over 300 nominated, 333 actually, I think it was the first year, and it's grown considerably over the last number of years, and we've capped the numbers at 450. So we've sold out the last 2 years at the 450, and we're capping it at that again. Just, I think if we have too many people in the room, you can lose people with the volume and everything else. So we wanted to keep it as quite an intimate sort of event. It's more about that celebration than getting as many people as we can in a room. So it's about having the right people, which we tend to have had, which is exciting and good. We've obviously doing something right, but I'm a big believer in the fact that that's because of the support that we've had. So we've got some amazing businesses that support it, that are ambassadors of the awards, and you know, the work that they do. I mean, this year we've got an independent panel of judges, so 6 professional people that are judging every category. So you've got the same criteria that are being judged to, whereas over the past years we've had a mix of ambassadors and sponsors to make up the panels of each category. So yeah, this year it's a little bit different. So the support that we've had has been outstanding. I mean, the type of people that we've got, like I say, on the judging panel are so well respected and such great business people. We've obviously got Glynis Wright, who's heading up the awards, who's worked with us from the word go.
Better start writing a bit better then now. I know Glynis is on there.
So yeah, exciting. So 450 people. We've got a great theme for this year. We always try and theme it so it's a little bit of fun. I can't reveal it yet. I need to book some more props first to make sure it's 100%.
She's going to come back and tell us that this is just asking to come back and tell us what the theme is, people. That's all this is. It's blatant.
That's okay. It's great PR for me.
How many award entries were in last year?
Just over 400.
Wow. So here is a couple of top tips coming from me as I've thought of them. So if you think about what Jen's just said, 400 individual award nominations, it means that you're going to have to really think about what you're doing and how what you're saying on that award entry. I know that sounds really obvious. It sounds like me teaching you to suck eggs, but your award entry is really, really important. It's your first way of getting in front of those judges. If it isn't strong enough, it ain't going to go anywhere. 400 entries. Some poor people are going to have to wade through those looking at them. So it needs to be engaging, it needs to be snappy, it needs to be relevant. And Jen's really good, Jen and the team are really good, because when you go onto their portal, it tells you what they're looking for. And it's that whole thing. I can hear myself. I'm now in my mid-40s. I'm going to sound like my teacher at school when I sat there taking my GCSEs. Answer the question. Don't give them what you think you want to tell them, or you're so desperate to tell them something about how your business has been successful, but it's not relevant. You're on a word count. Every word counts on that. So they give you the guidelines. Answer those questions. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, if you are serious about entering these awards in the future, because sadly by the time this has gone out, the award deadline will have closed, but for 2019, if you have any queries, pick the phone up, talk to them, ask them, how does this work? What's the process? There's nothing wrong with doing that and getting real clarity about what you're trying to do. Some people, I have heard, talk about the niche awards and say, well, you know, if you don't advertise a niche magazine, you don't get through. Utter rubbish. What Jen's already said about the rigour in the awards process, the judging panel, you and the guys have nothing to do with it. It is on the merit of those applications. So again, think about who you're trying to talk to, what the process is. Every award process is slightly different, and tailor it to that organisation, that set of awards. It'll give you the best, greatest, the best opportunity for success. So you're not going to tell us what the theme is for this year.
Not yet.
Keep me on the edge of the sofa.
Sorry.
Any plans for developing the niche awards in the future years?
Next year there will be a bit of a change in regards to some of the categories. As people will be aware within the Leicester business community, niche has changed quite a lot this year. So going from sort of a lifestyle magazine that covers some business issues, that's targeted at business professionals, we've flipped the mag on its head a bit more. So put more meat on the bone, so to speak. So the magazine itself has got a lot more sort of business sort of structure to it. There's certain sections, features that we do every issue now, and within each of those we've got hot topics where we ask different experts to comment. So rather than it just being, you know, me talking about what I think, you know, the hot topic is, we're actually asking people that really do know. So there's a lot more of that going on, and I think we'll be tailoring, well, I don't think, I know, we'll be tailoring the awards next year to reflect more of that business, so moving away from some of the more lifestyle-y categories.
Ooh. Exciting times,
Definitely,
my friend.
Definitely.
So, in terms of your own aspirations for entering awards, then, what's that looking like? This is a blatant plug. Hargrave's blatant plug.
I have never really entered awards. I guess we're always so busy
doing
it our own and supporting other businesses. Although, yes, just this week, Rachel, I did email you to say, Rachel, can you please look at nominating our company for this? I think it'd be really, I'm a massive believer in awards, and I don't really know why we've never really gone for any, particularly in the past.
Time, probably.
For me, I'd quite like to see my team recognised, because I genuinely have got an absolutely outstanding team. Every single member of my team goes above and beyond. I couldn't ask for any more. So I'd like to see them recognised, and I think they'd really like to sort of see the name up there, because they do so much. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're only as good as your people, aren't you? So,
I mean, that's another thing. It's not just about you. It's not just about your ego. I hear that sometimes from people who say, yeah, but, you know, it's for those who have really big egos enter awards. Think about what it can do for your team. Think about how it can motivate and engage them. Think about how it can lift their spirits and recognise the hard work that they do. So, you know, different awards, different opportunities come, but it's always about looking at it, really looking at it and thinking, what are you trying to do? How are you going to try and achieve from it? What are you going to enter? Why are you entering, and who are you going to involve with it? So that takes us on nicely to my top 3 questions that I'm going to ask everybody who comes and sits on the sofa.
I'm worried now.
The sofa of shame. No, the sofa
I've not
of
been
success.
prepped with these questions.
No, so. Deliberately. No, it's light and humorous. So let's think about you going up with your team, or you've got your team and you're at an awards dinner. It's not yours, it's somebody else's. And you hear that Jenny Cross Productions, Niche Magazine, whichever we're putting you in for, has been awarded, has got the nod. First question, these are 3 really serious questions, people. High five or bear hug?
High five and not jump off a stage.
No, please never jump off a stage. No. So high five. You're going up onto the stage, you or the whole team?
Whole team.
Whole team, thought that'd be the answer on that
Whole
one.
team.
You're coming back off the stage, you're going to celebrate champagne or Prosecco?
Oh, probably Jaeger bombs. If I'm honest.
And that, my friends, is why we love Jenny, because she doesn't answer the damn questions. So, yeah, thank you so much for popping in, talking about the awards. Genuinely, come back once we've got through awards entry, or perhaps possibly even after the event.
After the semi-finalists have been announced as well, we could, and then we can reveal the theme.
Bring a couple along.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be fun.
Although no, because then it might look like I'm being biased, so
that's
I won't
true.
do that.
I tell you what, come back onto the sofa after they do. Bring a couple of the winners with you.
That sounds great.
That'd be fab. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
coming.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye.